Hi, this is Cynthia Horner from RightOn Digital, and I am so happy I am here with Stephen Hill, who plays TC on Magnum PI.
Mhm.
And I'm going to ask you a few things about your character, and then after that, I have a couple of cute surprise questions to ask you. So
Okay.
first of all, what is it like playing TC on this show that's actually a franchise and a fan fave from back in the day?
I am truly honored. I'm a very nostalgic person. So, to be able to play something from that era that I love so much, the 80s is like a huge era of mine. I used to live in Inglewood, New Jersey at that time. And that was like the beginning of hip hop, and just so many like cool things came out of the 80s, and this show
Right.
is one of them. So to be able to carry that torch, which wasn't just given to me either, because I reached out to Roger Bosley and he was like, call me back when you get a season 2. You don't even know if you got a show yet, right? And so I was like, okay, all right, that was interesting. I wasn't expecting that, but I called him back, and now he became a mentor to me. So not only do I get to play the role, but it was a perfect handoff, like a 4x4. When they hand off the baton, to me.
Right.
I
Well,
appreciate it.
you're perfect for it. And what kind of reaction do you get from fans who see you and recognize you?
Well, I think the fans are always pleasantly surprised, because I've never said no to an autograph or an interview, or just sometimes I'll sit and I'll talk to a guy that lives across the street from me, a security guard. I talked to that guy one day for 15 minutes. I was like, oh man, I got to go somewhere. I just love talking to people that love the show and that remember the old show, because it's an awesome opportunity for me to reminisce about Roger with them.
Hmm. Now, you said that you're a nostalgia kind of guy, and
Yeah.
I'm a nostalgia kind of girl, especially since Right On has been around since the 70s and has covered all of these different decades of entertainment. And you mentioned Inglewood, New Jersey, and
Hmm.
Right On used to be headquartered over in Cresskill, New Jersey.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember I remember my sister, her bedroom was right across the street, right across the hall from mine. And I would always sneak and peek into her bedroom, see what she had going on in there. And she would have a bunch of Right On magazine covers on her wall. And my sister is the biggest Prince fan that I know. She's taken me to a couple of Prince concerts, and she's gonna be so excited when I tell her I spoke to the reporter that did the first Prince interview. I can't wait.
Oh, she'll love hearing that.
I cannot wait to
That's
tell her
that's
that.
going to be the biggest moment that has ever existed in my career is
uh,
people asking me about Prince.
yeah,
And I still have the audio. I ought
wow,
to play it for you.
that's
That
amazing.
first interview where he told me that his favorite food was bubble yum.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah,
Yeah,
he sought me out to be in the magazine, and the rest is history. We made him
so
famous.
so cool. I love it. I'm a
Yeah.
huge Prince fan. And I was actually looking for my musicology shirt that my sister got me, because she knows I really like that album. And I wanted to wear it for you, but I left it in New York. So the next time we talk, I'll have my Prince shirt on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now let's talk about TC. The history of TC is that you are a POW along with Magnum,
Hmm.
and it says in the story description that you attempt to reconnect with your father figure. So, can you talk a little bit about that for a second?
Well, this I'm gonna give you a little fun fact. Um,
Okay.
because I've shared this, online, so people know it. There was in one of the seasons, TC's father was going to come back, right? And
Mhm.
something happened last minute, and the person that was supposed to play my father didn't make it. But talking about nostalgia, that father figure they were going back and forth between Ernie Hudson, or Mr. T, right? So either one of those guys would have been incredible, but it would have been such a mind trip for the guy playing my dad to be someone who I used to have his doll when I was a kid. I had Mr. T dolls, right? But that fell through that storyline, and it became a thing where his father didn't show up. And so he was very emotional about it. It was one of my favorite episodes. And I would implore people to go back and check that one out.
That
But
is a
now,
cool, fun story that you
yeah,
told.
yeah, it's pretty cool. But now we have TC has some other family that may just pop up on him this season. So and it's going to be very emotional and very fulfilling for the audience to check that out.
Oh, okay. What do you like best about the series?
I love the brotherhood. Uh,
Mhm.
One of my favorite shows was Entourage, and I loved that those guys on that show, they didn't let anything get in their way. No money, no nothing. They just loved being brothers. They looked out for each other, and I think that's sometimes very hard to find in real life. It was something I had longed for, and I love that now I'm on a show, and it's about these three guys. With the exception of Muzo that passed away on the show, but these three guys they were POWs, right? So that
Mhm.
doesn't give you a strong bond of brotherhood. I don't know what will.
And you know what is funny? It's I'm dating myself, but I'll tell you a fun fact about me. When I first got involved with journalism, I was covering the POW situation that was going on. And I used to help sell bracelets that had the names of the POWs on there. And we
Wow,
were selling those bracelets to raise funds to try to do something to try to help out with that whole situation.
wow, that's incredible. That's a
Yeah.
good. That's actually a
Yeah,
good
I was
idea.
really into that. And I was really young, but I was a reporter even back in those days before Right On, and that's what I did. I covered that period, that was back in the 70s.
Wow,
Yep.
that's incredible.
Now, I have to ask you this. It says in your bio that you went to Hampton University
Yes, I did.
and you majored in what?
I majored in mass communications. I
Yep.
actually went there to major in cinematography,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And I got there and I went to Whipple Barn and I'm like, okay, so where do I take my cinematography classes? And they were like, oh, we don't offer that. I said, it says it right here. They said, oh, they must have gave you an old brochure. We haven't had that for 6 years. And I was just like, what? So, but the campus was so gorgeous, right? It was, I think at the time, 15 women to every male there. And I was
What?
like, I ain't going nowhere, right? So I learned mass media, broadcasting emphasis. So I was behind the camera. And then they were like, you should take some photography classes. So, I grabbed the camera and took a bunch of photography classes. And now I'm finally getting
Oh,
back into that again.
okay. The reason I wanted to ask you about mass communication is I wanted to find out if you were involved in journalism like me. But it's an offshoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Well, I used to, I studied that. And, when I graduated, I was working with a new online uh, company, and I would just look for news and send them news ideas to write. I would just like sift through news and always send them news ideas. So that was the closest I got to journalism, other than
Okay.
delivering a newspaper when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It is so great talking to you. Can you tell us, I know we're going to have to go quickly, but give me a couple of workout tips.
Oh, workout tips. Oh,
Yeah.
the best workout tip is not to eat too much, which is really hard to do here in Hawaii. And I'm so much so that I want to put that in the show, and hopefully the writers will like my idea that TC wants to get back in shape, because Stephen wants to get back in shape. I'm in good shape, but I want to be in better shape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And what do you like best about Hawaii besides the weather?
Besides the weather and the food, it's really just the people. You know, they are very serious about family and close-knit friends here. And everybody moves at a slower pace. I had some trouble adjusting to that when I first got here, coming from New York, and you know, wanting to honk the horn, and they don't even honk horns here. So I love the quiet life here.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it was great talking to you, and we definitely want to connect with you again. Don't be a stranger.
Um,
And tell us your social media handle real quick.
Stephen Hill ACTS, Stephen Hill Acts, StephenHillActs. That's on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, thanks again.
All right, thank you.
Okay.